Hey guys, DM Cubing, and today we're going to make a magnetic QiYi Warrior W speed cube. Hey guys, I recently received a Warrior W as a gift from Lauren Rubik. Be sure to check out her channel. And I've been planning on doing a magnetic modification to it, and have also received several requests for a DIY tutorial on magnetizing it. Now you'll notice right away that it's similar to a lot of other projects I've done. The layout of the magnets is close to that of the Vulc, except here in the Warrior we start them on the opposite sides of the edge piece. The Warrior is a budget cube, and like the MF3RS, makes for a great entry-level mag cube. Okay, here's a list of things that you'll need for this project. Of course, you'll need your cube. You'll need 48 neodymium magnets, 4mm by 2mm. For my project, I used a grade N35, and honestly, it's too weak for this cube. You need either a grade N48 or higher. So a grade N48, 50, or maybe even 52 for this particular cube. You'll also need glue. Super glue works fine, two-part epoxy works fine. Use what you know works well and what you're comfortable with. For this particular project, I used a new glue out by Gorilla that is not a super glue, and it's water activated, and I'll describe and show you about it later on. And you'll also maybe need a stick or a toothpick with its tip snipped off so that you can apply a little drop of glue to wherever the magnets are placed. You really want the glue under the magnets. Just don't place the magnets and then put glue over it. I see a lot of people doing that. That's not going to really adhere the magnets to the QiYi pieces. Talking about magnets, let's take a quick sneak peek at the magnetic layout. We'll get to this later. This just shows the relationship of the edge to corner piece magnets. But first, let's disassemble our cube. And here we have the edge piece. And the disassembly is very straightforward. It's a two-piece part, and you just pry it apart. Very easy. Watch out for the little prongs because they're kind of delicate. And the corner piece is a three-part design and pulls apart very easy. You can either start here at the bottom of the stock like this at the base or up to the side. Either way, I mean, it pulls apart real easy, and it's got the little tabs that hold it all together. Very straightforward. And here we see the exact location of the edge piece magnet. It's at the bottom base of the edge piece on the left side at the bottom of the post. The reason we put it here instead of on the right side is that this location gives the corner piece magnet enough of room. As you'll see in this photo here, that it has just plenty of enough room so that it's not crowded against the tabs. So that's why we have it on the left side instead of the right side. If I were to place it on the other side in the edge piece, that corner piece magnet would be a little cramped and not be able to just perfectly align with the edge piece magnet. And like I said a minute ago, I'm going to be using a new Gorilla glue. Their standard glue used to be where you would spray a little water either before or after applying the adhesive, and then their glue it would kind of like foam up about 3 or 4 times its size what you put on. And this doesn't foam, and it dries clear, and it seems to work pretty good on cubes. I'll know, in a couple of days whether it hardens enough for my liking, but you're more than welcome to use super glue or whatever, like a two-part epoxy. I just like to try new things. This is neat because after I apply the glue, I have to take a little spritz bottle and spray the QiYi pieces a couple of times, so that was kind of neat. And one last little hint here, and I like to always point this out in my videos, you might want to mark your magnets on one end just so that you know the polar end of the stick that you're grabbing the magnets from. So I put a little piece of paper between the last 2 magnets on one end, and then I remove the magnets from the opposite end as you see here. Okay guys, here we go. It's gluing time. When I glue the edge piece magnet, I like to use what I call a helper magnet. That's a magnet that I put on the outside of the QiYi piece. The function of this magnet is to hold the magnet that I'm gluing in place. If I'm using a slow curing glue like this particular Gorilla glue that I'm using this time, or a two-part epoxy, your glued in magnet can slip around very easily. If you're using super glue, it may not be that important to use a helper magnet, but I do anyway, just to assure that my magnet stays in the exact place that I put it to begin with. So that's what the little helper magnet on the side is. It's just to hold your glued in magnet in place. It kind of acts like a clamp. It's holding the pressure on the magnet so you get a better bond this way. I see a lot of people just, drip, put a magnet, drip, put a magnet without any helper magnet. You can get away with that sometimes with super glue, but I like to be on the safe side. I like my magnets to be perfectly aligned, and this assures it. And to glue the edge piece magnet, you want to put a small little drop of glue on your stick, and we're going to apply it to the left interior wall of the edge piece, right above that little post. And as I'm holding the magnets here, I have the stack of magnets in my left hand, and I'm removing one magnet, and I'm holding it in between my right thumb and right index finger, and you'll hear it snap into place there. You want to kind of position it there, so that's where it's going to. Now it'll move around a little bit. This part can be kind of difficult, pulling the magnet from the stick there. I actually broke my fingernail, and then what you'll want to do is position that magnet right there where it wants to fit perfectly against the bottom of that little post. And I always like to add a little bit more glue to kind of encapsulate it, so I'm going to add a little bit larger of a drop of glue this time, with the idea that it's going to encapsulate about half of the surface of the magnet. So it just provides a stronger bond from magnet to QiYi piece plastic. So in case if I ever did drop my cube, it would probably withhold it. And then this particular type of glue requires a little spritz there of water. And then after I'm finished with that, I put all 24 halves of edge pieces to the side, and they're going to need to, sit about an hour or two before you really want to handle them. This is a very slow curing glue that I used this time. So really in the actuality of when I disassemble the cube, it's at this point that I actually start disassembling the corner pieces, because I just kind of take my time and don't rush it. So usually by the time I, do my corner pieces, take a little break, then I can come back and handle the edge pieces. The glue is set well enough that I won't disturb the magnets from moving around. Now, if you use super glue, you don't have to be that, particular about it. The super glue sets pretty well. And now finally, the gluing of the corner piece magnet. We put a small drop of glue on the interior wall, right side wall of the corner piece third. Our helper magnet now becomes our corner piece magnet, and it'll pop right into place. Make sure the fronts of each side are lined up perfectly, because this will help later on. And I like to put an additional drop of glue on this magnet as well. And then with this particular glue, I have to spritz it a couple of times there. And then that's it. Do this to match the rest of the corner pieces to the edge pieces, and that's it. Let them set a long time. I would recommend letting them sit overnight undisturbed before you reassemble your cube. After the glue has had time to cure and dry, it's time to reassemble your cube. Let the fun begin. Before adding the core and lubricating, I like to put the cube together just like this without the core to make sure that there are no problems with polarity. If there are, your cube won't hold together like this. and that's about it. I'm not really pleased with the overall effect of the N35s in this cube. They're really too weak. I should have used N48. I think it would have made a much better cube, and unfortunately, because these magnets are too weak, I wasn't able to do a side-by-side comparison to the MF3RS, which I was really looking forward to. So that just means I'll go back to the drawing board. I'll put some higher grade magnets. Not in this cube. I'll buy another one. They're fairly cheap, so I'll buy another one and try some stronger magnets. I'm sure that that's going to make it wonderful. I heard from somebody else just yesterday saying how good it is with N48. So looking forward to that. I hope this tutorial's been helpful. You guys take it easy. I'll see you the next time. Happy cubing.